Will the market go up or down? Should you lock in or float? Find out this and more with Master of the Markets, hosted by Barry Habib of MBS Highway. Brought to you by Planet Home Lending. Secured by private equity, Planet Home Lending might just be the largest wholesale lender you've never heard of. Our competitive pricing opens the door, but we know it's our knowledgeable and accessible account executives who will make Planet Home Lending your first and last look on every loan.
Another edition of Master of the Markets. I'm Barry Habib at MBS Highway. This is created exclusively for Mortgage News Network and brought to you by our good friends at Planet Home Lending. They have rates that are out of this world on the wholesale side. You should check them out. So last week, we did get quite a bit of housing data and some good news on rates. 10-year Treasury remaining under our target of 2.18%, finishing out the week near 2.15. Listen, if we can get this week that 10-year Treasury move underneath 2.1, there is a possibility we can come in under 2% in the not too distant future. Now, it depends on a lot of things. And in this coming week, we're going to get the PCE, personal consumption expenditure. That's the Fed's favored measured gauge of inflation. I expect that to be a pretty tame number, so that could potentially be bond friendly. We'll see as it develops throughout the week. Now, with regards to other news we're going to get this week, it'll be some housing data, always important, and that reminds me to review what we were last week on the housing data that we received. We did get quite a bit, FHFA, new home sales, and existing home sales. Now, these new home sales and existing home sales are representative of the closings that occurred. So they kind of give us a look at where the market was on the existing side. A couple of months prior was the May report. So where was the market in March or April? And on the new home side, quite a bit before that, because it takes new construction. But here's the interesting thing. At the time, especially on the existing home sales report, which encompasses about 90% of the market, interest rates were much higher in March, April than they are today. And guess what? The report was much better than expected. So was the new home sales report. So was the FHFA report. All these reports coming in really strong. FHFA showing appreciation levels jumping on a year-over-year basis from 6.1 to 6.8%. I mean, real acceleration. Look, we've been talking about this for a long time. Tight inventory, strong demand. This is just a recipe for continued strength in housing. Look, I know when you talk to your customers, it's not easy to find a home because of lack of inventory. And then I know in many cases they got to come in either full or over asking price. But the price of admission is so worth it, as those people who paid that price of admission a few months, year ago, a few years ago, are experiencing. In fact, a recent report came out saying that equity in the housing market during the past 5 years has gone from 6 trillion to 13 trillion, more than doubling. And we all know for the past 5 years what the media has been saying. Could you imagine those poor clients that listened to what the media had to say instead of listening to us and listening to what you folks have been talking about, and that this housing market is very strong. It will continue to be so. Now, a couple of things on that existing home sales report. First-time home buyers were at 33%, tad down from 34, but still pretty strong. And in addition to that, we did get a lot of really strong data that we saw home prices reaching, the median home price reaching a record over $250,000. Now remember, this is the median price, so it doesn't necessarily depict appreciation. It just shows you where they're selling. So the median price that sold was $258,000. So half the homes sold for higher, half the homes sold for lower. Yes, of course, less homes selling under $100,000, but the media doesn't get that, because even a home last year that was, let's say, $95,000, if it appreciated by what we're seeing about 6 or 7% appreciation, it moved out of the $100,000 category and into over $100,000. So of course less homes are going to sell there, and builders are not putting up homes for $50,000 anymore. So a really strong housing report. We're going to continue, in my opinion, to see some more strength in the housing market. And what you need to do is take this information and bring it out to your customer, because the media has just this barrage of bad news. Your real estate agents need help on how to combat it, and you have all the tools in front of you. Hey, especially if you're on MBS Highway, why not give a real estate report card, show appreciation, do a buy versus rent comparison, which is what we have, which no one else has, that's specific to every single MSA. If you haven't checked it out, you're missing the boat, because I'll tell you this, quite frankly, if your competitor presents this to a realtor or customer and you don't, you're losing that deal. And if you simply present this and your competitor doesn't, you're winning that deal. So why not win? Why not sign up for a free trial? Or why not just sign up? It's so affordable and so worthwhile. You're not paying, you're investing and getting big dividends. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Feel the difference of what a decentralized operation makes. With account executives in your backyard and in your office, not hidden in a call center, we know what you and your borrower desires based on your market, and will be in your office helping you through every step of the way. Those are just a few of the differences our clients see every day with Planet Home Lending Wholesale.
This is Mortgage News Network.